Right, a basic breakdown, Len, and it's this. 32K TV Inc. is twofold. It is new television sets which have holographic display. So the picture at a switch of a button, because there's most remotes have got lots of buttons. The TV which is behind the camera is 3D, and you can press a button on the remote, which I don't have anymore, and the image changes. You put the glasses on and the image comes out at you. But in holographic, it's different. I want a television set which does this. Take your glasses off and watch whatever the content is. The picture comes out towards you, and the picture is outstanding quality in its display, its colours, and the technology behind that image. And the thing is that we watch sport, we watch films, we watch programs, and that is linked to the second part. The thing is this, that people turned round and said about this can't be done. Why? Why can't it be done? Because the thing is this, right? Innovation in what we do jumps every 6 months, and the idea, like I say, which is it's written down, it is time stamped, it is date stamped as well, both on paper as well as on the Waves Exchange, because it has to be for legal reasons. And the one thing is this, when you put forward an idea, whether it be the first idea or the second idea, the thing is this, that if somebody else in the world has something similar, you don't get it. It will refuse you entry. So I know that I'm the first. And as I say, with 32K TV Inc., the plan with that is to build factory units, and they cost a lot of money. The factory units will be to build televisions that go from 65 inch to 100 inch plus. And like I say, the image from said television will be the highest quality that you can think of, because that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to think, rethink everything. That means pulling in the brightest minds. And as we are in the UK, and I did a piece the other day which I got a copyright for, which I immediately removed it from YouTube. Here in the UK, the technology market is in the region of 1 trillion. And with that sort of power of 1 trillion, I don't understand why the BBC made the comment about the dollar. I don't. Because we use pound coins. You know, you go to a shop with $1 and they're going to turn around. It's no good here. So that's the reason why. But when I spoke to those down in London through Ruth Edwards, they were going through a lot of stresses and strains, and maybe I was, stuck on the back burner. Well, now, through the verification process and funding rounds, I'm going to basically purchase land for this idea in 2 locations. And then I'm going to build these factory units and then fill the factory units so that jobs can be created in the northeast, just north of Newcastle, and here in Rushcliffe. Now you asked me about office space in Newcastle. Yes, there will be office space. And yes, I will travel up, speak to the people who are in the office space, introduce myself to them, possibly go up to Cathedral on the Hill, and like I say, there will be, for both of these videos, there will be offices for both, and there will be staff manning those offices. And as I say, if my ex decides she wants to live somewhere else, there's a good chance somewhere in the region of Darras Hall or thereabouts, I'll purchase a property from my wage. Okay? If the vehicle I am driving at the time does not have the company logo on it, that is bought and paid for out of my wage. So that gives you an idea. But like the first idea, which I spoke about in the last video, this will push from 2023 forward. And the hope is it'll create jobs for people. The second part is this. I do lots of video, and what might have to happen with 32K TV Inc. is this. We might have to take cameras, broadcast cameras, and reinvent it. The processing power, the motherboards, the components that go on the motherboard, the lenses, etc. Because each of those cameras, whether it's in the studio or on an outside broadcast, will have a button, and that button switches it over so that when the image comes in from whatever it's videoing, that image will be transferred back to the studio as a high band image, and that will be holographic. And like I say, with the studio environment, that will be in the city centre, in some location in the city centre, and the panels inside the studio, the image will be projected out, so that basically it can do both at the same time. It's just a press of a button. And as I say, hopefully between what now and 2030, we have various different models available, and those can go to doing local productions of local stories. They can go into what Steve Wraith does, which is doing films, and beyond, because I was walking down towards the West Road Crematorium when I thought this idea, and there's so many powerful local stories which could be made into like what Catherine Cookson did many years ago, with, you know, writing these stories and then getting them on film. And that's what's really about. But it's about creating work for local people at the same time and giving them security up to 2050. Promotion, training, and like maintaining, research and development, everything is in this digital asset as we move forward. So I hope this gives you then, I hope it gives you a real good idea of what is inside here, because sometimes it's hard to push things, because you get people who come in and turn around and say, nah, you can't do that. Well, my question to them is this: why can't you do what you want to do? So thank you very much for listening to this idea.